Hello to all my story lovers. Welcome back in Storytime channel. I'm Pallavi reading interesting books for you. Today I'm reading chapter number 8, A Powerful Ambassador from 3000 Stitches, written by the great Sudha Murty. Now let's go through this chapter. I am a storyteller at heart, so it isn't surprising that I fell in love with the movies. When we were children, Bollywood was very different from what is today. Most movies were in black and white. Then there were seven color movies and black and white movies with some songs in color until finally the move was made to color feature films. Meena Kumari's tragedies often brought tears to my eyes, while Madhubala and Asha Pawarek's beautiful song sequences remain each in my mind. I can't let go of Sadhana and Wahida Rahman's effortless beauty, while Sanjeev Kumar's powerful acting and Rajesh Khanna's charisma will remain with my generation until we are gone. I have followed the evolution of Bollywood through the use of technology and also from simple innocent romances to the aggressive and bold portrayal of it today, and from classical dances to the drill team type of dances to break dance and now twerking. Movies were generally taboo in those days and considered a luxury in a village such as mine. We live in a Shigao without access to a movie theater. Besides, there was no electricity in those days. But to our absolute delight, we did get touring talkies in the summer, which were tents set up specifically to screen movies. It was the Lord's answer to our desperation. If we really wanted to see a film, we were accompanied by an adult, and our chaperone would decide which movie we would watch. We could only see religious and inspiring movies such as Sri Krishna Tulabharam, Rama Vanvasa, and Girija Kalyana. Occasionally, an exception was made, and we were allowed to watch a children's movie under adult supervision. We would then go and tell our friends about it. On the day, my cousin and I would eat early and fill our stomachs so that we wouldn't have to take a break during the movie. We would talk about the film for days on end after the screening. However, the movie watching days were rare throughout the year. But nothing stays the same forever. Life changed, and I came to the small city of Hubli for my education, where there were plenty of movie theaters. And yet, the taboo remained. A teenage girl shouldn't see romantic scenes. So, while I happily saw them when I went with my friends, I had to listen to my aunt and close my eyes when I saw the same scenes with her or other senior members of the family. As the months went past, I became bolder. At the end of every exam season, a bunch of us girls would go together to the movies. We would lie to our families that we were going for a film like the Shavtara. about 10 avatars of Lord Vishnu and go watch a film of the dreamy hero Rajendra Kumar. All of us had secret crushes on the heroes, but we felt awkward sharing this with each other. When I made it to college, I became what must have been considered really bold. I told my parents I refuse to watch religious films. I have seen enough of them to last me a lifetime. Now I want to see Rajesh Khanna's movies. I live in joint family, and it was clear that elders in the family felt astonished and perhaps a little embarrassed at my intensely transparent desire to watch a superstar's movies, especially a hero known for his ridiculous good looks and charm and the ability to drive away all common sense from the girl's mind. From that day on, my aunt kept a close watch on my grades. The slightest hint of fall would earn me the command. It is no wonder that your marks are going down. The crappy romantic movies have distracted you, and you are no longer able to focus as much as you should. Poor Rajesh Khanna was often blamed for my cousins and my low marks. If only he had known. Later, I made my way to Bangalore for my post graduation. It was heaven. The area known as a majestic boasted of at least 30 movie theatres such as Sangam, Alankar, Kepegoda, and Majestic on either side of the road. I frequently managed to watch two movies in one trip. Once I was left to my own devices in the working ladies' hostel in Pune. There was absolutely no one to stop me, and my love for films grew by leaps and bounds. It grew to such an extent that I could study only when movie soundtracks were playing in the background. Many of students made fun of me. One day, a few girls gathered at friends' home. Someone said to me, movies are a wonderful source of entertainment, but it is like eating dessert every day. It is not good for your health, and you will start disliking it at some point. No way, I protested. You can eat different desserts on different days, and you will never reach a point of disliking it. It's the same thing with movies. Easy to say, not so easy to implement. Are you willing to see a movie every day? Of course I am. I had no doubt that I could. My friends were quite thrilled. Well, then let's bet on it. If you see 365 movies in 365 days, we will give you 100 rupees and honor you as a Miss Cinema. I nodded, quite excited. Thus I began my filmy journey. Pune was a great city for watching movies. In those days, Neelayam Theatre would screen Raj Kapoor's movies, a different one each day. There I saw all his movies from the earliest one to the most recent. Once that was done, I switched to famous director, actor Guru Dutt and watched all his movies in Lakshmi Narayan Theatre. Boredom was nowhere in sight. Just when that was nearing its end, Prabhat Film Company, a pioneer in Marathi movies, began showing their films in Nataraj Theatre, which was a stone throw from my hostel. Some of these were movies from before my time and were those my father had seen when he was a student. So I watched them too. Manus, Kunku, Shezari, and Ram Shastri, among others. During the days movies were in short supply, I stock up on English classic at Rahul 70 Theatre. Gone with the Wind, To Serve with Love, Come September, The Ten Commandments, films featuring Charlie Chaplin, Lauren and Hardy, and other silent movies with subtitles. Occasionally, Deccan Theatre screen Kannada movies too. At the end of the year, I had successfully watched 365 movies and became such an expert that I could rate any movie that my friends could think of. I even understood the fundamentals for a movie's successful run. Necessary prerequisites consist of a tight story, good music, crisp conversation, excellent script and dialogues, fine acting by the lead roles, appropriate costumes, outstanding direction, and careful editing. Then there was the matter of luck, which remains undefined to this day. I have encountered films with excellent storylines that have turned out to be box office flops. So, while there is no exact formula for success, too much melodrama and non realistic storyline dooms a movie from the start. My deep interest in films took me to the next level, assessing the acting abilities of the heroes and the skills of the director. Thus, I gradually turned into a movie pundit. Now I am unable to watch as many movies as I would like due to my schedule. Yet, I prefer going to a movie theater rather than watching it at home. I also have an interest in visiting countries that aren't considered popular tourist destinations. A few years ago, I added Iran, Poland, Cuba, Bahamas, Uzbekistan, and Iceland to the list. These less visited countries have many advantages. They are not crowded and have fewer hotel reservations. The flight tickets to these places can be obtained at a short notice, and you have the freedom to walk about anywhere you choose. Out of these four countries, the Bahamas was the most exotic of them all. Even as I was introduced to the other countries and their specialities, whether it be their markets, vegetables, customs, cuisine, fashion, and much more. I enjoy going to farmers market to sample the local goodies and always pick up something that I can carry around and eat. During my visit to Iran, I was utterly fascinated to see yesteryear's Persia, especially since I was aware that we use almost 5,000 Persian words in the local language of North Karnataka. The historical connection goes back to the days of the Adil Shahi dynasty. The official language in the court and the military was Persian. So it isn't surprising that many words and nuances of Persian architecture were absorbed by the local in their language and can still be viewed in Vijapur and Bidar in Karnataka. In the olden days, trade was an important part of administration and was responsible for the bringing revenue into the kingdom. Many traders groups were in existence at the time, which enabled the exchange of goods from China to India and from India to the Western world. This also encouraged the sharing of culture through food, dance, theatre, and cloth. I decided to visit the local markets in Shiraz, a prominent city, in an effort to better understand the culture and the type of merchandise and fare. at the market and noticed a man busy making naans in a small stall and few people waiting around for their order. The process was fascinating and the naans were ready to be served in a matter of few minutes. When guests came home in Iran, women do not head to the kitchen and make rotis like we do in India. Instead, the man of the house goes to the naan and rumali roti, another type of thin flatbread, shop and gets them freshly made and in big quantities. All the cooking made me feel hungry and I approached the man. I want to buy two of them, I said in English. It was clear that he wasn't too familiar with English, but he understood my request. Soon he handed me two warm naans on a paper. I noticed him observing my sari and the bindi on my forehead. Since I didn't know the cost, I offered him a higher denomination currency note so that he could charge me appropriately and return the change. Amitabh Bachchan? He asked. When did response he persisted, Salman Khan? Shah Rukh Khan? After hearing the names of famous Bollywood heroes, I realized what he was trying to say. Yes, I replied. I am from the same country as them. He smiled. No money, he said. Even when I insisted, he refused. He added, India Bollywood, very nice. Good dance, good dress, good music. Iranian like. I understood. Iranians like Bollywood. Since I come from the same land as some of the heroes they like, the man didn't want to take any money from me. He wanted to give them to me as a gift. He probably thought of it as a way of doing something in return for the hero's countrymen. Salam! His words broke through my train of thought and he moved on the next client behind me. I held those precious naans closely and came back to my room and turned the television on. To my pleasant surprise and amusement, I saw Amitabh Bachchan conversing in Persian with Jaya Bhaduri in the movie Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gham. I had no doubt Bollywood movies were definitely a rage in this country. The Iranians may not understood the meaning of the songs, but they must like our storylines and the beautiful and the flowing silk lehengas, the foot tapping music, the grandeur of the sets and the acting of the lead characters. Now, my dear viewers, we will stop here. We will conclude this chapter in the next video. Thanks for watching guys and subscribe our channel.